Before I move on to Moorgate Halt, I've got to go back to Greenfield station again. I was reminded by my good friend Bob Fleming that there was a signal box there. It was called Greenfield Junction signal box. It was on the up line at the Manchester end of the station, and it was opened in 1888. This is a picture about 1982. If you look in the distance there in the background, you can see the warehouse on the Micklehurst loop line as well. Anyway, this signal box was an LNWR Type 4 design. Originally it had 60 levers. I'm being technical now, but by 1982 those 60 levers, after the Oldham line had closed, were reduced down to 12. So this actual signal box controlled the Staley Bridge to Diggle line and also the Oldham line via Lees. This box was renamed Greenfield after the Oldham branch line was closed in 1964. It then carried a BR, that was London Midland Region, maroon enamel sign, which was just simply called Greenfield. But this gives it a clear indication as to the positioning of the signal box. And the platform to the right, this was much longer when the Oldham branch line was in operation. It's now been removed, this. There's just one important thing I forgot to mention about this box. Why Bob remembers it so vividly, because he got chased away several times by the signalman when he was playing around there and he shouldn't have been. Oh Bob, you were a naughty boy at times. And this footpath just off Den Lane here is the one that takes us up to what was Moorgate Halt station. A little bit of a climb, but not for somebody young, fit and agile like myself. Panting a bit now though. Almost there. Got to get through this childproof lock on the gate though. It may be hard to imagine now, but this was the site of Moorgate Halt station. Just around the corner there is Greenfield station, so it wasn't too much of a distance, but as I explained, I couldn't really walk up here on the main Transpennine line. Just over here, situated around that area, was Delph Junction signal box, and the branch line went off just past this station. It forked off to the left, and way in the distance there you can see the Saddleworth Viaduct. So it wasn't too far away from the viaduct itself. 40056 of Lee's engine sheds is viewed here, pulling into Moorgate Halt on its way to Delph. Here's a view of 40012. This is beauty of a push and pull. This is heading its way towards Oldham, so the engine is at the back and it's at Moorgate Station, or Moorgate Halt as it was known, heading towards Oldham. Look at the sparsity of the station. It's just a platform that's made out of wooden planks, and there's a gas lamp there. This is a great example of the token system. This is Delph Junction, where the signalman, or known locally as the bobby, or all over, is giving the token to the driver so he can enter the branch line to take his train along to Delph. I would imagine the remnants of the signal box are somewhere in the bushes over there. It went from a two-track line to a single-track line for the Delph Donkey, so there was a token system going onto the line. These views give the best indication of how the track worked. If you look at the first arrow on the left, this is where the points went to make it into a single track, and it was running parallel with the main line. The second is the curve to the single track. This is where the Delph Donkey line actually branched off, which was just before the viaduct, and the viaduct is indicated by the arrow on the right. Here's a rarity for sure. The locals gather to witness 44687, a black 5, which is conveying the Queen Mother, the royal train on the Delph branch line. This is just coming out at Delph Junction and it's on its way to Chester in 1960. It would be nice to just step back in time again and see it once more, but we can't do those things, can we? Anyway, I'm going to move on now. I'm going to see if I can pick up where the branch line came off here. So I'm going to make my way down there, but I've got to take a long walk obviously to get there. Here's a view of 40057 pulling a 2-carriage train past Ladcastle Quarry. It's heading on its way towards Delph. I can actually gain access to the branch line if I follow this path up here and go under the main Transpennine line. Again, we can admire the wonderful skewed stonework that we've got here. There's always graffiti artists everywhere, isn't there? No matter where you go. Don't want to be on a dark night on your own though, would you? Just going to find the track bed now. Quite a hike in itself. Anyway, there's the Saddleworth Viaduct there, and the branch line would have come along here. So for the sake of continuity, I'm going to walk down there to the junction and I'll film it on the way back. Well, I walked down for about 10 minutes, and obviously this elevation is not going to come up from that main line there. So the branch line must have been down parallel with the main two lines there, forming 3 lines until it branched off. Remember, the Moorgate station is just further down from where you're viewing now, and the Delph Junction signal box was just this side of it. So I know it branched off from there, so it must have run parallel with this for a while and then worked its way over when it got down to the viaducts. There's also quarries in this area, and I know a lot of the stone that was taken out of here was moved by the railways, but I don't know how they got it down there, but where there's a will there's relations, as they say. And this is another quarry here that you can see. There's actually somebody camping up there. Can you see that? Just about there. I don't know what that's all about. So I'm on a steadied gradient down now, and we're slowly coming back down to track level with the main line. I presume the branch line has just been lost in the ravages of time. But there's a retaining wall there. See the... Ah, there you go, look. There's a retaining wall and a bridge there. So it must have just been to the left of this where it forked off towards Delph. Can never miss a passing train. 802, 205. This steel girder bridge here more or less confirms the fact that it carried 3 lines at this stage. You can see there's the 2 main lines, there's plenty of room for another line there, so the branch line would have come down here. So I'm still going to pick it up further down here. Slowly getting down to track level again. Well, there's the viaduct, and this here is where it would have forked off. So I'm going to just steadily go lower and lower until I pick up the line just down here. Here's a view of a train heading towards Oldham, which shows the close proximity of Saddleworth Viaduct. You can see it's just entering onto the third track, which is parallel with the main line, and it's going to run parallel with the main line before it enters the main line. This is a train heading towards Oldham. So I'm back almost at track level now. So this is where we pick up the branch line now. So I'm making my way along the track bed. It's a little bit muddy in parts, I must add. It's all starting to make sense now. If you look from Moorgate Halt, you'll see the line north goes right through, the main line goes through to Saddleworth. And just to the left, there's a branch line that comes off just past the signal box, and it goes off to the Delph Donkey line, which bends severely round to the left, round about Saddleworth Viaduct. Now from there, you'll notice just to the left of that, there's a little spur, which is there for the wagons to go to take all the stone from the Ladcastle quarry. That was moved actually down a narrow gauge railway from the quarry down to meet up with the spur. So it's all making sense now. From there it was taken obviously onto the main line and distributed to wherever it needed to go. It must have been quite an idyllic line to drive and to be a passenger on as well. Out in the nice countryside, beautiful trees around and fields. There it is, that's the track bed, that's where it came off. See that? That's the level there. There is the start of the viaduct. So that fence there is where it came off, and there is the track bed. Down we go. Now there's no disputing, we are definitely on track. Look how beautiful it would have been to go past all these big stone walls. This shows a view of a train that's just come off the main line onto the branch line, and it's heading along to Dobcross Halt. The line winds gently round a bend to the left here now, and you just hear another passing train on the main line. It's quite a busy line, that one. Coming out into a little open area now. Oh, here's the first railway structure along the line, a bridge. I know this bridge. It's a beautiful bridge. We'll take a look at it. That's where the main line continues. We're just going to take a little detour here. So there's the sign. I don't know if you can make it out or not. It says Moorgate Quarry, half a mile, and that way Delph is 1.5 miles. So our mission is getting close to being accomplished. Let's take a look at that bridge now. It's a beautiful skewed bridge. And it's got big retaining bolts all the way through it. You see the 3 big retaining bolts there to stop it collapsing. I don't think that'll ever collapse. It's a car coming, I think. Yes, I was right, it was a car. But look at the stonework underneath as well. Another car coming. It's too busy for a little tiny road. Let's take a look at this from another angle. There's where I just walked along, from that direction, heading in that direction to Delph. And this is the bridge again. We're now leaving bridge number 1, and we're going to continue along now on our way to Delph. So the sign tells us it's 1.5 miles. So this is the original track bed, and we're just going to follow this for some way and work our way along to the next station. I think I have a photograph of a train in this sort of location, so I'll see if I can find that and bring it a little bit to life. Here's a rare colour photograph of a train heading towards Oldham. As you can see in the distance there, the Saddleworth Viaduct, so it's just left Dobcross Halt and it's making its way along to the main line. This part of the line's quite popular. Lots of people come here walking the dogs and exercising. This was a single line, remember, and there was talk of preserving it, actually getting a preserved locomotive and running it, but unfortunately it never came to fruition. We will be coming up to the next station soon, which was Dobcross Halt. Still making our way patiently along. And we should be coming up to bridge number 2 soon. It's not far off. It always amazed me how Dobcross could have a station. I was very naive at the time, quite young, because Dobcross is actually a village which is up on the hills here. See all those houses through there? And I always wondered, how could they put a railway station on the top of a hill? That just shows my naivety at the time. It's getting a little bit windier. Cyclists coming now and walkers, and we've just passed another lot going away there now. As I say, it's quite a popular walk this. This is a better unrestricted view of Dobcross. You can see it's quite hilly. I can just see bridge number 2 in the distance now. We're making our way towards it. So this is bridge number 2, and it spans Ladcastle Road. It's another skew bridge, and it's quite beautiful in its construction. I'll show you where the entrance to the station used to be as well. These steps were from, well, actually the platform was here, and these steps would be where the people would come when they got off the train and make their way down. See, this is a beautiful skewed bridge of great construction again. Got to be careful how I'm walking here. It's not easy and it's covered in leaves. However, it's another, oops, I almost went then. As I say, it's another beautifully constructed bridge. It's taking its full beauty from both sides. It's just starting to rain as well now, which is unfortunate. Tell you what, if you're modelling that, it would be beautiful to do, wouldn't it? Look at the weathering on it. So that's bridge number 2. Now let's go and take a look at the station, or the remains of it. I could just imagine all the Victorian ladies in their long skirts coming up and down these steps, and all the men in clogs going to work on the train. So this is actually the location of Dobcross Halt, and thankfully they put a little memorial to it which explains the history of it. So it was located along here. It was a wooden platform, and it's been tastefully reproduced a little bit so you can see the location. I have a photo or two of this station as well. This is a view of 41282 pulling into Dobcross station. If you look just to the right at the lower part of the photo, you'll see that the running in board for Dobcross is there on the station platform.